I would like to begin by asking all of the former members of the Entrance Church and the Erina Church to stand. Former members. So I just want the members, not the current members, I just want the former members. If you're a current member, please sit down. Because I just want the former members standing because I want our present members to recognise that we have stood on the shoulders of these giants and we would not be in this part of the journey today without them. And I just want to show them our appreciation. I have become somewhat of an expert on journeys, and the journeys that we have are always carefully planned and orchestrated by my wife, who loves to journey. She spends a lot of time getting the itineraries and carefully planning, and a lot of her enjoyment is actually planning and looking at what she knows the journey's going to be. The journeys for me generally, I enjoy the journey often more than the destination, but I know when I get to the destination that I can then return home to all of you and the things that I really enjoy here. But I just want to share this journey with you. So the person you see depicted on the screen is Conrad Aiken, and if there was anyone that had a difficult start to his journey of life, it was this man. He was 11 years old when he heard 2 shots ring out, and he ran upstairs of his house to find that his father had shot his mother and then shot himself. A terrible start to life, and a very good excuse why his journey of life could not have been successful. But on the contrary, he put that behind himself. He went to Harvard, he became a brilliant student, but all the time he strove to find the meaning of life. He wrote a number of poems and became the poet laureate for the Congress. But all the central theme of his writings and his poems was that we are all fellow travellers, travelling through the cosmos. And he had this theory that life is circular, that you actually end up where you begin. And so when he retired, he decided, part of that theory, that he would move back to Savannah, where he lived as an 11-year-old boy. He tried to buy the family home, but couldn't. So he bought the place right next door. And every day of every week, he would take a picnic rug and he would go out to the cemetery and he would lay the rug out and he would sit there in front of the tomb of his mother and his father, contemplating the meaning of life. And on one particular day, a great ship went past to the river right next door to the cemetery, and he felt inspired that he needed to race out. And he raced to the shore, and as the ship went past, he could see the name of that ship was Cosmos Mariner. Cosmos Mariner, this is what he'd always been writing about. Here we are, we're Cosmos Mariners, we're always in this journey. What is the meaning of life? There's got to be something else. And so he raced home and he opened up the newspaper, because in the newspaper there's always a section, the shipping news. It lists every ship and it lists every destination. And as excitedly he went down the list, he saw Cosmos Mariner, and he moved over to the destination and it said destination unknown. Well, it was a journey I wanted to take. And so when I went to Savannah, I wanted to do what he had done. What really is the meaning of life? And as fellow travellers, what really is our purpose and what really is our destination? And so like Conrad, I went and sat in front of the tomb of his mother and father. And you can see on the right-hand side there is a seat, and I sat there. And it was only when I approached it that I realised that that seat really is not a seat. It is actually the gravestone of Conrad Aiken. Because in keeping with his theory, by some miracle, you remember he was 11 when he moved, he came back to Savannah, and 11 years after he retired and moved back to Savannah, he died, and that is his gravestone. And so what he does is he invites you to sit on that gravestone. And when you have a look at that gravestone, it's got all of his details, and yet the epitaph that he's remembered for most is this: Cosmos Mariner, destination unknown. Now, to a Christian, there's not much more that could be worse than to actually have that as your epitaph. And I'd read this, and it worried me. And I was so pleased that although that is on the left-hand side, when you move to the right-hand side, you'll see this: give my love to the world. So, fellow travellers, Cosmos Mariners, how wonderful it is that our destination is not unknown. How wonderful it is that we can be part of spreading the love of God and to give a message that our destination is certain. And what a wonderful blessing it is to actually have a church that we have got here today and to enjoy. And it's not just to enjoy for us. It's to actually give the love of God and to share it. And we're so happy and proud that already our church has been such a wonderful blessing to our community. But we're here today because of those that have gone before us. We're here today because of the faithfulness of people. But in all of that, we know above all things, we give God the glory, and to God we do give that glory.